Hello, 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 and welcome, you guys. Welcome to today's class. I'm so excited to be here with you today. And, I know that today we are kind of at an odd hour today. I usually like to release some kind of a video, a pre-recorded video or so here on my channel at this time. But on Monday, I so happened to need to do something for myself that I tell all of you guys to do very often, and that's to take personal time when you need to and focus on some self-care. And so there were a couple of things I needed to do on Monday evening, which prevented me from going live. So here we are today with another live coaching class. So I'm waiting for some of you guys to go ahead and get into the room. And what I would love is, as you come into the room, to tell me that you're here. So go ahead and put a little hello for me in the comment box so I know who's here. As you know, I love taking your questions, and I love, getting comments and feedback from you guys as I'm discussing our topic for the day. So make sure that you post them into the live chat as we're going along. We can go ahead and get a good conversation started today, because what I have to talk about today is something that I feel or I know is not fully talked about in the area of fitness. And it's something that actually plagues a lot of women out there trying their best to become their best, thinking that having another training or diet program on the docket, thinking that buying another ebook or hiring another personal trainer, showing up at the gym is going to help them to get to a higher plane in their life. But that's only like the Band-Aid solution when you really look at the grand scheme of things. And that for so many women, there are so many underlying things that they're dealing with in the face of body fit transformation, fat loss, going after goals, contests, prep, you name it. You don't even have to be an athlete or anything. We all deal with this on some level, and these are things that go unspoken. Mental health in general is very unspoken in our society today, and I want to tackle that to a degree today and give you some strategies about what you can do for yourself to start being far more successful in this game. So hold on tight. Like I said, please post your questions and comments in the chat, and at the end of the broadcast, I'll go ahead and make sure to answer them, because there's nothing more that I want to do today than to ensure that you guys are getting the help that you need. So I want to make sure that we're over here, that I'm good with my screen, and that I'm doing my presentation right. I had to pop out of that, and we are. So today's class is your mental health killing your results. So today's agenda, I want to connect the dots between your mental health and fitness and your direct fitness goals and results. How do all of those actually correlate and come together? Where do they bridge? I want to help you to identify if the source of your falling off the wagon continuously is due to self-doubt and self-sabotage. And if that is the case, some things that you can do to try to get past those hurdles. And then finally, I want to give you some tips about how you can start to move past this. That's outside of just showing up at the gym and forcing yourself into compliance unsuccessfully. Ladies, you can't will yourself better if you don't address the underlying issues that you are dealing with when it comes to your mental health, when it comes to your self-talk, when it comes to your motivation and the results that you see. Now, you know that, honey, I got to pay the bills because Roxy Beckles runs a business here. And I am here to help each of you on many different levels. So one of the things I want to say before we start up today's class is to tell you some ways that you can go ahead and implement my way, my approach to training with some great workouts, a sane approach to your diet, and a blueprint to help you to jumpstart your programming. If you are a woman right now who feels like, you know what, I need a new program. I want to get myself into shape. I want you to check out my Trim 21 program. It's a 21-day rapid fat loss program that I created that is just hands down kick butt, great program, and that uses science, not that fluffy stuff to sell you a dream. Trim 21. Go ahead to my website, rockstarfitness.com, and you will see where you can get hooked up with Trim 21. And I will put the description for the link for this in the description of this video, also in the little eye circle at the top of YouTube. After the broadcast goes off, I've got a free offer for those of you ladies out there who feel like today's conversation is hitting you in the gut and you have to do something about it. I have a free ebook called Empowered Feminine Fitness. And a lot of the stuff that we talk about today, I touch upon in a greater degree in my ebook. And the ebook is tons of pages of just great information to help and lift you, to uplift you, inspire you, really get in touch with your feminine energy. I do a lot of talking on my channel about that. You can go back and watch a couple of the videos that I have on that. I did a live class called Cultivating Your Feminine Energy and how that relates to your fitness. You're going to love that. And even that class, I talk about some of the principles from this book. But a lot of what I talk about today with the mental health stuff, allocating time for yourself, and some of the stuff we'll get into with today's class, I do discuss in Empowered Feminine Fitness. So go to rockstarfitness.com. You'll see where you can download free. I've got a section where you can get free courses, classes, ebooks, and all that stuff. You will see the link for Empowered Feminine Fitness there. I will also leave the link in the description for this video for you and in the eye circle after the broadcast. On the screen, you see it says rockstarfitness.com/EFF ebook. If you can't wait till the end, go ahead and get your hands on it right now if you go to your browser and type that baby in there for you. And finally, before we begin today's class, one more thing I do have to say. Ladies, one of the things for me that I realize my purpose and calling here as a fitness professional now at this point in my life, you've heard me say that I've been in the industry for over 21 years. This year actually makes my 22nd year in the industry as a fitness professional, hands-on, working with women from around the globe, in the trenches, in the gyms, everywhere. I started back in 97. And for me, what I realize, my work now has gone beyond just helping a woman to get her fitness and her diet together. That's a huge aspect of what I do. The other part of what I do is about showing women how they can tap into their greatness and become their best selves ever. So a lot of what I do too also braids in, how would I say it? Like, I don't say life coaching because I'm not a life coach, but lifestyle coaching, behavior modification coaching, mentorship at the highest degree. The level of work that I offer through my business, through Rockstar Fitness, is like nothing you've ever experienced before, even if you worked with other coaches. So at the end of this today's discussion, particularly, if you feel that what I'm saying to you is touching you, hitting you in the gut, and you've got to do something about this, you've got to move, you've got to change, come and talk to me. It's totally free. rockstarfitness.com/clarity call. You go there, you'll see everything that you need to see about how to go ahead and get signed up for a 30-minute call. I have an application you do need to fill out because I need to know that you and I are the right match to work together. And you have to be ready to take the step forward to invest in yourself to work with me. And I have different levels and coaching levels and ways for you to do that to match different budgets. But it's about you taking the first step. So I'll talk about this a little bit more at the end of today's class, so we can go ahead and make sure that, you get taken care of in this process too. So now that I've gone through all of that, let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to go ahead and switch my screen around for a second here. I want to make sure that you guys are all good, that you can hear me and all that stuff. So I'm checking out in the comments right now to see if you guys can hear me. So why don't you do this for me? If you haven't, you're just popping in right now, just go ahead and give me a hello. Hey, Rocks, what's going on? I got English. Hey, English, what's up, girl? Good to see you here. I'm glad to have you here with me today. It's an honor. So, ladies, let's go ahead and talk about this whole thing, this whole mental, like I said. So for many of you out there, what's really keeping you from finding the success that you want when it comes to your fitness goals are the underlying mental health issues that are left unsaid in this process of transformation. And here's how I know that this is true. Because after all of these years of me doing this stuff and working with women of all backgrounds, all different goals and stuff like that, there's always that small few that come along that are really struggling before they meet me. They're really struggling and they can't seem to understand why they can't stay on their meal plan, why they keep falling off, why they keep snacking mindlessly, why they keep sabotaging themselves over and over, why they feel like they can't show up to the gym and truly rock out the way that they need to, no matter how hard they try. And a lot of other coaches and trainers will blame that client and say, you don't have what it takes. You're not hungry for it. You don't want it bad enough. Instead of going at things at a different angle to see if there is something that person is dealing with and to help them get through that. You see, guys, that's what coaching is. People nowadays throw the word coach around and nobody out there is coaching. And darn it, coaching takes a lot of effort. Coaching takes a lot of patience. Coaching takes a lot of energy. And that's why it's not for everyone. A lot of the fitness professionals out there today are what I call just, online trainers, or, for those that work in the gym who, when you go to the gym, you see folks training clients and all they're doing is sitting there counting reps and not really doing much of anything else. Lazy trainers. I call them glorified rep counters. And honestly, they serve no one, because at the end of the day, you're not getting the help you need. You're not getting the support you need. You're not getting the tools that you need to truly be successful and to move past these hurdles. And a lot of it is because you're trying to apply the Band-Aid solution, the easy part. Let me get on a new diet program. Let me get on a new training program. And all of a sudden, everything's supposed to fall into place. But you've got a gaping wound that's bleeding out and you're not stopping the hemorrhaging. I want to stop the hemorrhaging. So here are some things that I want you to truly be honest with yourself about and to ask yourself about. And this is going to help you to identify whether or not your inability to stay on your plan is truly a matter of willpower, because for some of you it may be just minor things. And for those of you who are usually minor, you can get over that with like some quick coaching, talking through with your trainer or whatever, and getting back on track. But there are those of you who have done that and it doesn't work. So how do you know that it's a deeper issue? Well, I have a couple of questions that you can ask yourself. And here's the thing. You've got to be utterly honest with yourself as well. So here are some of the things that I want to ask you. And hey, listen, if it hits you in the gut, say, yeah, you know what? That is me. Yes. And then I'm going to tell you some things that you can do to kind of move past this. So the first thing, are you feeling down and depressed about issues in your life? And for a lot of people, that question is a hard one to answer, because that's going to require you to stop and say that you are not okay. For so many women, you don't slow down in life. Life doesn't allow you that opportunity to slow down, and everyone expects you to be the strong one. Everyone expects you to carry the load. When people are going through their own problems, they leave them at your feet because you're the strong one. But who's there for you? After years and years of being that strength, foundation, and solace for everyone else, and not being able to show your own vulnerability as a woman, as a feeling human being, that can have such a huge impact on your psyche. And that's often when you see a lot of women with depression and mood issues and all that other stuff setting in, because you can't show that you may be in a state of depression. So honestly ask yourself right now, are you feeling down and or depressed about issues in your life right now? Next, do you deal with issues with anxiety? Do you deal with issues of anxiety? Do you deal with anxiety, period? I want to tell you something, okay? There was a point in my life where I was dealing with depression and I was dealing with major anxiety, and I would get up and I would smile through it, and I would meet clients because they needed me. I would be working with clients online. I would be doing these YouTube videos, and did anybody know? I don't know. Some people who really knew me well felt that something was not right. But I put on that facade that I was strong and I was okay. I was just peachy keen. I was great. But when I would wake up in the morning, I would wake up with a lump in my throat. My throat would close. I would wake up with my heart in my chest ready to beat out. I would just wake up with anxiety, like I couldn't breathe, Like, that's what it felt like as soon as I opened my eyes. And it wasn't until I was able to admit that to myself that I was able to combat what I had to deal with at the time and to get my mindset in the right place. So that way I can be on this broadcast with you, standing here today, sharing my story about how I was able to overcome some of this stuff and how I understand what you're going through. Okay? So be honest with yourself. Are you dealing with anxiety? Yes or no? The next thing, really important, because a lot of folks don't want to deal with this question. Have you been diagnosed with any kind of mood disorders or any kind of like mental issue diagnoses in the past? I had a cousin, and even I've seen with clients too, some clients who have been in the past, like, I've been diagnosed with XYZ. But what happens, sometimes people don't want to take medication, or they're afraid of being medicated. They're afraid of what the doctors might say. They're afraid of actually knowing what the heck is going on. But if you have been diagnosed in the past and you have an answer, then you want to stop the fear of actually taking care of yourself and addressing it. Because here's the thing, darling, there's nothing wrong with you taking care of you and admitting that there is something that needs to be fixed. So if you're one of those people who have had a diagnosis and you're not dealing with it, ask yourself, honestly, is that you? Now, next, what do you have to do? Question number 4 that I want you to ask yourself: are you dealing with grief associated with the loss of a loved one or any kind of loss in your life? Now, I have had clients who have lost very close friends, family members, people or things that matter to them, and they try to cover up that loss and try to recover from it by way of running to a training program. It's now or never. I've got to do this now, and I feel like it's going to take me out of this grief or this, just not feeling good about myself. And in some respects it can, but in other respects, one day it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks. And then boom, everything falls to the wayside. Grief is a part of life, unfortunately. We all know this. Come on, we're adults here, okay? Grief is a part of life. It's a fortunate part of life, and you can experience grief for a number of reasons. Covering it up by ignoring it is not going to do you any good. And when you decide that you want to start on a fitness program, if you decide that you want to change your body now, and you decide that you want to do a contest prep or whatever the heck it is that you want to do, and you think that that's going to take you out of the grief, it's only going to put a Band-Aid on it, and one day it's going to explode and make it worse. So if you are dealing with that, raise your hand right now, and let's go ahead and give you some tools about what to do next to actually face it so you can overcome it and become the best woman that you know that you can be. I've got 2 more questions that you need to ask yourself before I give you some solutions as to what you need to do next. So question number, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Question number 5. Do you struggle with a negative self-image that impedes you from looking at progress and more as triumphs? Or in some extreme cases, causes you to have body dysmorphia issues? So there's a lot of you out there who maybe you're okay on the mental front as far as depression, as far as anxiety, and a bunch of other things that can, go awry with the brain. But there's a lot of you out there that your biggest mental crutch is yourself. You are your biggest enemy in this game. No matter what you do, no matter how good you do it, no matter how many pounds you lose, no matter what clothes begin to fit you again, no matter how many times you step on a stage if you compete, or how many times you run marathons, or whatever it is that gets your goat, no matter how many times you have a triumph, you cannot stand to acknowledge it. You can't stand to give yourself a pat on the back. When you lose weight and you're getting leaner and your coach is telling you, good job, you can't even embrace it. You can't even see it because all you see are all the flaws. All you see is everything that's wrong. And that is a huge, huge impediment when it comes to your fitness goals, because if you can't enjoy this process, what's the point in doing it all? Everyone thinks that the end result is what matters. The end result, the weight loss, the fat fat loss, the gaining muscle, the gaining strength, the getting on the stage. That's what matters. But it's the process that matters. It is the roadway that matters. It is the triumph all along the way that matters. But when you are so in your head that you can't even stop to acknowledge it, to embrace it, to celebrate it, and to be proud of it, that makes this entire thing that you're trying to do that much harder. That makes every effort that you're trying to put in that much harder. And it makes the road to all of this completely impossible. I've seen clients near quitting because of this. So ladies, big one, because some of you are not dealing with major depression and this, that, the other. Some of you are, some of you aren't. And for those of you that aren't, this is your biggest crutch. So I'm going to point it out. And remember, if I'm hitting you in the gut right now, raise your hand and say, yes, girl. Let the church say amen. Type it in the comments. I will see it. Type it up in the chat. I will see it. Amen. Okay. And the final question, and this is a big one. Let's get back to seriousness here, because this is a huge one. And this one is hard for a lot of people to talk about. Are there underlying eating disorders? Do you deal with overeating? Do you deal with binge eating? Do you deal with anorexia? Do you deal with bulimia? And have you ever dealt with these in the past? And if so, are you recovered, or at least on the road to recovery? Eating disorders are a serious issue, and I see them all the time in this business. I've had people have come to me of all ages dealing with binge eating, dealing with overeating, dealing with emotional eating, dealing with bulimia. Yeah, I had some clients that have dealt with bulimia. They were recovering and recovered. I've had clients who I really suspected was dealing with anorexia, and I had to tell them, hey, look, you can't do this right now. You have to focus on getting your health together, getting your mind together. So many women are actually silently dealing with eating disorders, and they don't even know it or notice it, or maybe they do, but they don't even reveal that to their coaches or trainers. Ladies, it's time to have an honest conversation, particularly minority women, because these things aren't always talked about in our community, specifically in the Black community, because of course I'm Black, so that's what I know, but so many are dealing with these things that it has to be talked about. So I want you to be honest with yourself, that if you are dealing with that right now, to say, yes, you know what, Rox, I am. And now, what can we do about this? First and foremost, okay, so now that I have gone through some of the things I want you to ask yourself, those 5 or 6 crucial questions. If you're just joining me right now, you definitely want to watch this from the beginning. So make sure you get this from the beginning when the live broadcast goes off. I will have that replay. And if you're listening to this and it's hitting you in the gut, honey, listen to this one again. Send it to your girlfriends. Ladies, you have the power to change the conversation around fitness. It's all in your hands. You don't have to sit around and listen to the same fluffer nutter stuff that every other, fitness personality and influencer and this, that, the other spewing you. You get to decide what you want to consume and what you want to share. And the more we get to talk about this stuff, the more we can actually better the fitness industry and start to see you and everybody else starting to get results. So now that we've talked about that in a real way, I want to talk to you about what you can do to make things better. Okay? And here's a caveat to that, though, okay? Understand that a coach or trainer or a new fitness program, whether you buy one of my programs or somebody else's, it doesn't even matter. A new fitness program alone or any just coach or trainer alone cannot help you with deep-seated issues. We can't. That's outside of our scope of practice, okay? And for a lot of you, getting at the heart of the problem is the true road of to salvation for you. Okay, so it is outside of my scope of practice to actually sit and talk to somebody about their depression and what they need to do to get over it. It's outside of my scope of practice to tell somebody how to deal with anxiety, eating disorders, and all that other stuff. But there is something that I do because as a fitness professional who's been in this industry for over 2 decades, you best believe that I've run into this several times. So what I say that you need to do to get yourself to that next level is to assemble a team. You need to assemble a team. And that team is going to be your trainer or coach, plus your doctor, plus a therapist. And so if you're working with someone right now, my clients already know, like, because I've done this and I'm doing this with several of my clients, a couple of my clients, where I said, look, there's something else going on here. Do you have access to a therapist? Do you know anyone? Have you worked with anyone? And, 9 times out of 10, they're like, yeah. If they can't, then we go through their insurance, get somebody in their network, set up an appointment. It's literally that simple. And we get the help on board. Okay. So if you're dealing with anything like that, you need to have that third person in the mix. So don't be afraid to reach out. Now, a lot of folks ask, well, what do I do? Do I stop training? Do I stop my fitness goals? Do I stop my training program? And I say not at all. Taking control of your health and fitness is an excellent way to deal with mental issues as you work to gain control of your mind and your life. Now, the reason for that is because there are hormones in your body that do help to regulate mood and stuff like that, and they are increased naturally with exercise. So we're talking about the dopamines, we're talking about the serotonins, we're talking about all those things that do get upregulated from exercise. So if you are dealing with this, have an honest conversation with your trainer so they know. Have an honest conversation with your doctor if you need to get a referral out. Set up an appointment with a therapist, and boom, you've got your team. Continue to train, because now that your team is together, guess what? You're going to have better success at sticking on that plan. So this is not the time to quit. It's the time to say, I need to fix this and this at the same time. And ladies, there is nothing wrong with that. Now, here's a good thing. The other good thing about keeping with your diet and training program is that not only can exercise help to upregulate these hormones like serotonin, dopamine, and all that stuff, and just get you in that good feeling mood, but in some cases, dietary changes can have a significant impact on mental health as well. So another reason why you want to keep pushing through and keep doing what you have to do. But like I said, for the most bang for your buck in getting this together is working with a therapist, a psychologist, a psychiatrist. There's all these things, these doctors, alongside your coach. That's going to help you to just really have the best option to achieve your fitness and personal success along the way of this journey. Because ladies, here's what I think. This fitness thing that you're deciding to embark on, honey, this is a lifestyle. And the reason why you're sitting here listening to my broadcast today is because the universe knows that you're ready to take that next step to really take control of your life, because nothing is haphazard. And you don't even have to work with me to even have that. But just listening to this message may prompt somebody, one of you out there, to get up and do something more. When you're ready to receive the answers, boom, the universe gives it to you. Now it's about how you apply it and take action. So let's talk about the next steps to taking action. So once you've identified everything, you've gone through those questions, those 6 questions I told you about earlier. You decide that I've got to be honest with my coach or trainer, and I need to talk to my doctor, and I need to get into a therapist. Get my team. Now that you have your team together and you're ready to stay focused now on the next level, here are the next things that I want you to leave as staples to your success, as staples, as part of your programming, as part of your way of working. Now, of course, number 1, I'm going to talk about this because I always talk about this ad nauseum. By the way, while you're listening to this, let me take a quick break and tell you, look, if you like what I'm saying right now, like this video, like this video right now, because if you do that, what's going to happen is that YouTube is going to share this with other people, other women who need to see it. It gets the algorithm going, and it really helps to share this message and my content. So like it right now. And subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you are subscribed, make sure you click the bell notification so you don't miss these classes. These are live, guys. You can talk in the chat. Alicia Thomas, look at that. I see her. She said hello. Look at that. I see y'all. So make sure that you interact and share and all that stuff. So number 1, let's talk about number 1. You know that I'm going to talk about this. I talk about this all the time. Goal setting. So the first thing that you do when the new things I want you to implement for your programming is goal setting, okay? And here's the thing that I say about goal setting. Goal setting is a major part of my work as a coach, okay? When I work with my clients and I'm mentoring them. And we always look at 8-week goals in 8-week chunks. And you want to ask yourself, like, what is it that I want to achieve 8 weeks from today? Like, what do I really want to achieve 8 weeks from today? And I want you to think about physical goals. I want you to think about mental goals. I want you to think about compliance and adherence goals. I want you to think about strength goals. I want you to think about goals outside of the gym life, things that are in your everyday life that you know that you really want to achieve. That's going to help you to grow and progress along this way. Now, here's the thing about goals that's really helpful for those of you, especially who are dealing with, like motivation issues, depression, and stuff like that. Like, don't think of it just as like goals that are tangible, like as far as like, I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to get into these size 10 jeans again, or I want to, don't make it all physical. The thing about goals that really pushes us forward, especially as women, what I find are intrinsic goals that mean something to us inside, that make us feel something. So that weight loss, what does it actually mean for you to set that goal? 8 weeks from today, I want to lose 10 pounds. It's not enough to stop there. You've got to ask yourself, how is that going to make me feel? Well, 8 weeks from today, I want to lose 10 pounds because I'm going to feel accomplished. I'm going to feel amazing. I'm going to feel like I'm finally on track to getting to the body that I want and the level of fitness that I want. And I'm taking control of my health at the same time. And over the next 8 weeks, if I can get off that 10 pounds, man, I feel like I'm going to be adding time onto my life. Now, if you set your goals like that, don't you think you would be on fire? Don't you think you would actually like really strive not only to get that result, but you understand the feeling that you're trying to achieve in the process? Ladies, boom, that's going to blow it all out of the water for you there. Try it. Over the next 24 hours, grab a notebook, get your journal, and write that out. And really get honest with yourself. Look at physical goals, strength goals, adherence goals, and compliance. Things outside of fitness that are going to drive you. And talk about not only what you want to achieve in the 8 weeks, the end result, but how it's going to make you feel. And watch how much more you'll be dedicated to your fitness process. And this is something I do with all of my clients, so I know it works. It's the cornerstone to our work together, so go ahead and try it. That's my gift for you for today. Getting on track, the second thing that you need to do after you set your goals is getting on track with a program that works for you and is flexible enough to allow you to feel triumphant in the process. So many folks get so hooked up on rigidity. Now, there is a time and a place for rigidity. For instance, for my clients that are on my contest prep competitor track, when we are in a prep and we are going into a show, you have to be rigid. You have to follow your diet exactly as written. You got to follow your training exactly as it's written. And as you get closer to your show, there's really less room for flexibility. It's just what it is. You chose this life. But for those of you that are not in that extreme lifestyle, being able to be flexible enough to be successful at this, to feel motivated throughout the process, and to keep yourself from falling off is really crucial. Because like I have clients, for instance, one of my clients, she just got back from like a week trip or two in India of all places. And she's always on the road. She flies all around this entire globe. And I mean that in a literal sense. And, weeks ago, months ago, years ago, before we started working together, she would have quit. Like she would have started a program and been done because there was no flexibility or rigidity. There's too much rigidity, not enough flexibility in what she was doing before. So it made her feel defeated. But if you allow yourself to be fluid and to really work with where you are, particularly when you start when we're talking about things dealing with depression and anxiety and stuff like that, you can get super overwhelmed by this process. And there will be days where you need to take a step back. And you have to be okay with that. You have to realize that, okay, my body, my mind needs this, and it's time for me to let off the reins so I can do what I have to do. So fluidity, getting on track with a program that works for you and that is flexible enough to allow you to feel triumphant in this process is super duper important. Number three in this process, the solutions that I want you to apply. Constantly checking in with yourself to make sure that you are mentally okay with the process, and reaching out for help when you know it's necessary. That is a huge one for a lot of you ladies that follow my stuff, okay? I got a lot of A-type personalities. I got a lot of women who are running on that masculine energy that I always talk about ad nauseum. And it's not that you're not a masculine woman. You're not a dude. I didn't say that. It's energy. Go back and watch the class that I had where I talked about cultivating feminine energy, why that's important, how that relates to your fitness. It all has to do with taking steps back, self-care, and all this other stuff, okay? All the stuff you're probably not doing right now as you put everybody else's needs before your own, and you have to play Wonder Woman every single day of your life. Girlfriend, guess what? You don't check in with yourself. You don't ask yourself if you're okay, because you being okay for so long, for too long, it stopped mattering. This is where you have to be okay with stepping back and getting in touch with how you feel, where you have to be okay with admitting that you don't have all the answers, and sometimes boundaries are going to be in place for you to say no. And that when things get super overwhelming, that it is okay for you to open your arms, to fall back into somebody else's arms who can help you. And you do that by asking for help. Okay? You are not alone in this process. At least you don't have to be. Particularly when you hire a team to work with you. Nothing sucks more than having a coach or a trainer who is not there for you, who does not listen, who shuts you down when you say that something is wrong, who blames you. That is not coaching. And if you're experiencing that and you feel like you can't go to the people that you are dishing out good money for, leave the relationship. Leave it. But always check in with yourself. And this is why I say working with a team to support you is so important. So ladies, get that team together. You got yourself, your coach or trainer, your doctor, and your therapist. And any one of those should be able to help you when you need it, to be able to reach out so you have an ear to talk to get you to the next level and out of your own mind taffy. So the final thing that I have to share with you today, which is a really important one in the process and helping you to deal with a lot of this stuff, is that you are at a place right now where you have to be open to relearning what you have come to know about yourself. When you identify what the problem is, that's when you can start working towards solutions. So if you implement all the things I just said above, we got to the problem, we started to implement some solutions, but the final solution is truly relearning about who you are as a woman today, right now, in this moment, with a whole body and soul of dreams, of goals, of things that you want to accomplish, knowing that you can't approach them or those things the way that you might have in the past, and being willing to be open to change. So this is where self-development comes in. This is where self-care comes in and learning how to implement that. This is where self-love and inner work comes in. And this is where I can tell you, as the woman that I am today, as the coach and professional that I am today, where my passion lies when I'm working with clients, when I'm working with my fitness clients, because for me, even in the stuff that even in this is a free class, guys, this is a free class I'm giving you right now. This is a free coaching class. Do you know, my consultation cost on the phone for just an hour with me is $250. And it's the same cost to train with me in person, because I worked up that kind of reputation where, people are willing to invest to work with me. But I'm giving this talk to you absolutely for free. And so it's up to you to take it and to use this advice. But at the same time, for me, this is what my work has become. It's about helping you and women like you to be their best, to be towards that next level of evolution. And so what I see fitness as now, as a woman entering her 4th decade in a couple of weeks, I'll be in that 40 range. And I know that a lot of you out there we're around the same age. My demographics are like an even split between women 35 to about 45. You know, the outliers are 25 and to that, like between 25 and 35, and then outside of the 45 range, about 45 to 55. So you ladies are in that bracket, that perfect demographic where a perfect storm is brewing inside of you, of a woman who is ready to jump out of her skin to be better than she is today. And you have to change. You have to go bigger. You've got to be better. You've got to get to the core of who you are, explore her, and give her the permission to be her best. I know that's what's within you. And that's what my message is for fitness today, is to inspire you to learn how to tap into that, to inspire you to say that it is okay, girlfriend, and to let it out, and to let it roll, and to experiment, and to delve into it. And that self-development work, that's what is so important. Like, I have seen women come through my doors doubting whether or not they will ever see success. Okay. One client in particular, we have a goal of losing 100 pounds together. She's already down 50 pounds. We got 50 more. She's getting married this weekend. Like, life is just fantastic. Her confidence has grown. She's become a better person to herself, to her current or future husband, and her family. All while we got her eating together, all while we got her training together, all while we built her from the inside out. Ladies, that's what's possible for you at this phase in your life when you're talking about fitness. It's not just about getting that tummy tight or losing those hips or losing those thighs. Get to the deeper reasons and then work from there. Okay. If you remember anything from this conversation today, it is get a therapist to be on your team and get to the deeper reasons as to why all of this stuff is important. Okay. So I get so passionate sometimes. You got to excuse me. Woo, Lord, we going to church here. God. Woo, Lord, don't get me started. I just get so passionate about this stuff. Because I love it. And I'm here to help, and I'm here to inspire. So I hope that today's message has inspired you. I hope that what I have to say to you today helps you to look at things in a smarter way, that helps you to look at things in a way that will just truly inspire you to the next level. So the next thing that I just want to say to you, ladies, before I wrap up today's class, is that if you are at a point where, hold on a second, I lost myself. Where am I? Okay. God, I'm so bad at this. Lord Jesus, what am I doing? Okay, here we go. If you're at a point today where you want to do something about it, I got 2 things for you. All right. Beginning of this broadcast, I told you that I have a free ebook for you to check out called Empowered Feminine Fitness, where I talk about this stuff in greater detail, about how you can get back on track. First of all, identifying what the heck is going on with you as to why you can't stay on the wagon, why you keep putting everybody else's needs first, why you don't think you're worth your time and your effort to invest in you in different ways, time, money, whatever, like different ways, emotionally, all that stuff. And then pointing out what is possible once you do and how to do that. And there's some exercises in there. There's some journal prompts in there. It's like really life-changing things if you allow it to be. And that's a free ebook, Empowered Feminine Fitness. Go to rockstarfitness.com/EFF ebook. EFF, Empowered Feminine Fitness, EFF ebook. Okay, there's a link right there on the screen. At the end of this video, I will put the link in the description and in the comments and in the little eye circle thing on YouTube if you happen to be watching the replay. You can also go directly to my website, rockstarfitness.com. Go right up to the top menu. You'll see where I have some free ebooks and e-courses and classes and stuff. Click on that link and you'll see where you can go right there and sign up to get yourself your hands for free on Empowered Feminine Fitness, the ebook. And then the final thing I want to leave you guys with today is, again, you don't have to be alone in this process. And I know it's scary to really invest in working with someone, especially if you've been burned before, if you've worked with other coaches and you feel like, this stuff doesn't work. And I just have to tell you, that's because it's the people that you've worked with, unfortunately. And, there are some of us out there that are just really out here changing lives in a major way, that our purpose on this planet is to truly help women to transform in a major way. And because of that, I feel like I really, I love what I do, and I want to help you. I want to talk to you. You don't have to come out of pocket and pay me anything to get on the phone with me for 30 minutes and decide, tell me exactly what's going on, tell me what you're dealing with. Let's see if I can help you and decide whether or not that's right for you. Okay. And I have different ways to do that. Okay. I have my one-on-one coaching, my highest level VIP one-on-one coaching. I have my group coaching program. We have my monthly membership program, which is going to be debuting this summer. Actually, it's another affordable option for you guys. I have Trim 21, which I told you about at the beginning of this video, which you can work on your own. And that's just a workout program, but you're able to actually get on the phone with me too while you're doing that workout program, and set up group calls and get support and all that other stuff. So you'll be still talking, working directly with me. But that just takes you getting on the damn phone in the first place. So rockstarfitness.com/clarity call. rockstarfitness.com/clarity call. You can go ahead, go to that link, fill out an application, and let's go ahead and set up an appointment for you and I to get on the phone. And it's that simple, ladies. I really and truly hope that more than anything, what I had to share with you today has planted a seed in you that's going to help you to truly get to the next level. And that's all I want for you. I want to see you be successful, whether you work with me or not. Be sure to subscribe to my channel right now and click the bell notifications if this is your first time viewing my content. Okay, ladies, please, it doesn't cost anything for you to like this video right now if you feel like what I've shared is valuable to you and can be valuable to someone else. Please just go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Post your comments. If you're watching this during the replay, post your comments. Share your thoughts. Share your tips, your advice with our community of women, because your story matters. We all have one to tell. Your story matters. And you never know if something that you say can plant a seed in someone else and inspire them. Any of my rock stars listening to this right now, hey, look, you know what we do together. Go ahead and share your story with the women that are in our YouTube community so they know, hey, look, if she could do it, I could do it too. Post that in the comments. And then finally, what was I going to say? I said subscribe, right? Did I say subscribe? I said like, and that's it. Ladies, I love you so much. I love y'all. Thank you so much for spending your afternoon with me, or just watching the replay of this, and for letting me into your psyche, into your energy. And I really hope that the food that you're looking for spiritually, mentally, emotionally on your fitness journey, the universe bringing you right here to me right now has fed you in a major way. And again, I'd love to talk to you if you wish to talk to me, and I will see you in the next class. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Roxy over and out.